All right, welcome to God's Grace Stories of the Redeemed. This is episode 4, and I have a very special guest, Alexa Wells, my beautiful wife, and I'm your host, Dylan Wells. And this will be the 4th installment of my personal testimony and where she enters the story. And from here on out, it's our story, not my story. But before we get going, this is a Christmas Day recording. Christmas evening, so it wouldn't be right if we didn't start with a little bit of the word. So this is Isaiah 9:6. For a child is born to us, a son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. What a wonderful gift it has been to be in the presence of the Lord and to have his spirit dwell in us and all that he's achieved in our lives. So in this story, well, before we do that, let's start with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I just pray that you bless this message and allow it to grace the ears of anyone that needs to hear it. Use this moment in time to bring more people to you, Lord, and draw closer to you. And anyone that has heard the word, let it convict their spirit to set aside their wicked ways and bring themselves into your rightful laws. And in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So where I left off was arriving in Florida, and really just kind of a wreck until the moment that you arrived. And that kind of
Did that make it a bigger wreck?
Yeah, it did. But the way I kind of want to start, so tell them about how I'm going to bring up the story about when the first time you got in the car, because that really summarizes where I was at in life.
Mm-hmm.
But before that was like date 2 or whatever. So before that, tell them how you approached me and she approached me. I didn't approach you, and just give them like a summary of that first.
Okay. I had been going to this gym in Orlando for a couple years, and I went before work and after work because I was single, so I had nothing else to do with my time but work out. And so I knew everyone pretty much at the gym, or if I didn't know them personally, like I had seen them like in and out of the gym. Like I knew who went to that gym. And I have never seen Dylan, and I was like, he's new. I just knew right away, like he's new to this gym. And well, I thought he was really attractive, and so I wanted to know more about him. But in my life at the time, I was kind of like so tired of being approached by men, because the men that were approaching me were like the ones I didn't want. And so I kind of took matters into my own hands, and I found him on Instagram. And I, checked out his Instagram page to see what he was about and everything before I even approached him. And then I was on the Stairmaster one time, and I saw him over in like the turf grass area. And I was like, all right, there he is again. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go over there. And I said a prayer. I was like, God, please help me say the right words and give me courage to go over there and say something. I never done that before. I never gone up to a guy before. Because my mom raised me to believe that's just not what women do. You have to wait. And I was like, screw that. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm going to do what I want and get the man I want. And so I go up to him and I was like, hi, can I pet your dog? Hi. And then I was like, I stalking on Instagram, and I laughed because I was like so nervous. That's what came out of my mouth, even though that's not what I had planned to say at all. So, and then I just like took off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to leave right now. I can't go back to working out. Like, this is too embarrassing. So I laughed and I was like, oh my gosh, like I hope I never see him again. That was like so embarrassing. And then it took you like 3 days to reach out to me.
It did. We have to try and fix this headset.
Okay.
I can't. We gotta pause it. All right, and we're back. So we were having some technical difficulties with our headsets, but no more squeaking. I couldn't focus. That was driving me crazy. So you were saying, so you met me and you were super nervous and said a bunch of gibberish.
I embarrassed myself.
But I wanted to focus on the fact all that gibberish you said. So another reason she was super like shy about it was because I'm wearing blacked out glasses, over the ear headphones. I've got a dog. My dog's working out. I'm not working
None
out.
of that made me nervous.
But I had the vibe of don't talk to me. I clearly was like just trying to get in, get out. I didn't say a word the first time we met.
Just give me the eyebrow raise to it.
Just looked at her like that.
He looked at me like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I looked at her sideways and I was like,
Wait.
yeah. Then she runs away.
And I literally was like, I was gonna like go back to my workout after that, but I was like, no, change of plans. I'm just going to my car and going home.
It was a good idea. So then I was like, okay, so who is this psycho? And I've had a lot of people like, want to talk to me, like pet my dog, whatever. I was pretty cool about it, but the way she was like, "Can I pet your dog?" As she's petting the dog, takes off, and I never even got a word out. And so I was like, "Who's this person that stalked me?"
You were definitely intimidating for sure.
Yeah, and I was like,
But I was like already nervous though. Like,
of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, so who's this person? So I go on, and I was really busy working 2 jobs and trying to work out at the time. So I didn't have time to like scan social media every day. And she had like 10 or 15 photos. And I was like, oh, that person. And she wasn't kidding. She did stalk me. So anyways, I messaged her, I DM her, and we go out. We go, I was like, I'll work out with you tomorrow, but I'm a pretty busy guy. And so we did that. And then I was like, all right, she was cool enough. So I invited her back to my place for a gourmet meal, lightly steamed broccoli, chicken, and rice. And that's all I could afford at the time. And but that's neither here nor there. And after that, I mean, that's all she wrote. That after that, we never were apart more than a day or two unless the law made us.
Yeah.
But on our second date or whatever, the first time she got in my car with, because that day she drove her car to my place. But the first time she ever got in my car, I just felt the spirit come over me. The Holy Spirit was like, hey, because this is not a normal thing to say. And at the time, I just was like, I got to tell her, but this is the most beautiful woman I've ever met. And I'm like, she's attracted to me for some reason.
What,
but
it's shocking. I was attracted to you.
Well, I just, I don't know. I'm just, very much doing what I got to do. I'm not like looking for anybody. And at the time, she's getting in my car, and I was like, hey, before you get in here, I think I was already in the car. So
you were sitting in the car.
Yeah, from my side.
And I had opened the door, and then you're like, wait.
Yeah, so
tell you before you get in.
Yeah, so I'm already in the car. Such a gentleman. Already in the car.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, before you get in this car, you need to know I have no license. Like I told you guys on last episode, no license, no registration, no insurance. And I got drugs in the car because now I found weed again. Because I told you I didn't travel with the weed, but I found it when I got to Florida. First thing I did, get myself some weed, get myself some paraphernalia. So I'm loaded with all kinds of stuff in the trunk of this totally illegal car with 5% limo tint. So it just says, pull me over. And I was like,
it really does.
Just in case you're wondering, I'm a criminal. And in California, all that stuff's no big deal. It's a slap on the wrist. You're still probably going to walk home, get your car towed, but you'll pick it up the next day, pay the fine, no big deal. But in Florida, they're like serious
They're
about the
super
law.
strict in Florida.
And so I was like,
Yeah.
you might be walking home and I'll probably be going to jail. Just in case we get pulled over, that's what's going to happen. I just want you to know. And I was like, for sure she's going to turn around and go the other way.
I thought about it first. I was like, okay. I got in the car and I was like, all right, where are we going?
Yeah, she did not turn around. She got in the car. And I mean, I was like, okay. So that was the first time that I like was just boldly honest with her for no good reason. I was not that good of a guy. Like I really wasn't. I would normally not do that, but for some reason I just felt I needed to tell her the truth right out of the gate. And then what's the next part of the story? So that's how she met. So she knows I'm a total dirtbag. But I was trying to get my life together. And I was like, I had a plan. Was getting my finances back together. And I was like, getting my life back together. And then as the story goes along, we're both a wreck. But she's like very worldly and like wants me to spend all this money and like buy her things and go out on all these expensive dates and stuff. And she still believes in like Disney fairy tale. And she worked at Disney too, so that's a little like enabling the fairy tale fantasy. And I was like, I'm broke. So I'm spending everything I got and it's never enough. But she still loved me for some reason. And every time I'd be like, I don't even like, why do I keep putting up with her? And I'd be so mad at myself. And then the next day she'd be like, so we're going to see each other tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. And we eventually go to move in. Am I missing anything? Is that like the next milestone in the relationship? Was going when we moved into Winter Park? Or when I moved into Winter Park?
It's your story, babe.
No, it's our story. Is there anything like significant that happened between then and then?
I mean, for me, yeah, but
Yeah, so
not for you, I guess.
well, I'm just kind of blanking. So tell her your story.
So,
I mean, we had dates, all that, but significant in our relationship.
I mean, for me, it's important.
Yes.
Like in April after we met, because we met in March, right?
Yeah. Oh, our first real date.
It was on my spring break actually that we met of like 2017. And then
talking about the concert.
Yeah, and then I always wanted to go to a concert with a guy, and I just never had that opportunity. And so I was like a huge like chain smokers fan back then, like hugely one of their biggest fans, I would say.
Yeah.
I would study their lyrics at work.
And she doesn't like lyrics. So that's a big deal.
So we went to their concert in Tampa, and you didn't really want to go.
No.
Drag you along. I had an extra ticket. You really couldn't really make an excuse not to go. It was free.
No. And so a date where I don't have to pay for anything more than... It was
totally free for him. He just had to like drive. I think you drove.
Yeah.
Or maybe we drove my car. I don't know.
Still riding with the criminal in the passenger seat.
Whatever. That was a lot of fun. I had so much fun. He didn't have that much fun, but that's okay.
Well,
it's not always about him.
No, and so she, for the longest time, would be like, that was our first date. I'm like, that was not our first date.
It was like the first real date in my life. Like,
yeah, first going out date. Yeah,
sure. Going out date. Like the day you told me all the stuff before I got in the car, we went to a hike. But hikes in Florida are nothing like the West Coast.
We went on a walk.
Yeah, it was basically a walk in the woods. And then for me, I think the next concert we went to is actually significant. How
many did we go to?
I think it was just the Chainsmokers and Hippie Sabotage.
Oh, that was later down the line, though. So, all right. So now, this is a very tumultuous relationship. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot, like I said, there was a lot of like, you're not going to spend enough money on me. Oh, just a bunch of nonsense. And so we've been dating. We met in March, officially started dating in April or whatever she said.
Yeah.
And then it's like December. So December we decide to move in together. And we're gonna move in together. And the day we move in, so remember, I was honest with her. Smoke weed, broke the law a bunch of times. And my roommate, coworker at the time, was also gonna move in with us. And it was our first time getting a place together. And she decided, oh, I don't want you guys smoking weed anymore. After we already paid the deposit. So we've already paid the deposit and we're literally about to move our stuff in. She's like, we're going to have to talk about this in person. So him and I are sitting down. We've already moved 2 loads of the U-Haul. And we're like, all right, man, like, we're still in our work clothes. Like, what are we going to do? And she was like, I need a text before I get off work. But she's really a, like, in-person kind of, she needs to have a conversation in person. And we were like, bro, we scouted the house. We're like, I think the garage or the backyard. I don't know. We'll have to just walk through the place and figure it out together with her. And so we're like, all right, we'll just wait. And it's not like we intentionally didn't text her back, but we were just like, literally, we got a bite to eat and then we were right back to moving our stuff. And you know how U-Haul is. You got a deadline. You got to get it back on time. So we get that back and we're doing our thing. And she shows up heated.
I was so rad. As soon as I got off work, like I checked my phone. It was the first thing I did. And no text. So immediately I'm like boiling.
Doesn't call us or anything.
I'm like so red. I can feel my face heating up. And I was like, I'm going to Whole Foods because that was like my happy place back then. I'm getting myself some sushi. And I'm driving straight to the house. And I would like to do like sidebar before we get too much into this is like I was like really into Taylor Swift's album Redemption. And that album, if you ask me, breeds Jezebel spirit. It breeds it. Like Getaway Car, like come on. Like that's the title of a song. Getaway Car.
Yeah. That makes a lot. I never put that connection to the album, and then
it came out November 10th.
Yeah, so
and exactly a whole like to the day, a month later, December 10th is the day I got arrested.
And then you probably were listening to that song the whole way to the house, huh?
No, I wasn't.
Not the song, I mean the album.
I listened to it on repeat every single song every single day.
Yeah.
Since it came out. Like it's all I listened to. I didn't listen to anything else. It was that album. Like that album, like every single one. Like every single song on that album is all I listened to for like a month straight. And then I still listen to it after the rest too, but like I believe like all the words, like people like, oh, it's just music, it's whatever. No, like what you listen to literally sends a message to your brain and you start acting like that.
I mean, David used that to cure the demons in Saul.
Yeah.
That's how they first introduced David to Saul, the music. And so, yeah, music's very spiritual.
Yeah. So, and it's not just Getaway Car. That is like an obvious one. It's every single song on
her whole beginning of
Bad
her career.
Blood.
Yeah, the whole beginning of her career was about breakups and bad toxic relationships.
Yeah, so
but continue.
I'm not the first one to say Taylor Swift breathes Jezebel. I have heard I'm not calling myself a Christian influencer at all because I'm not. But I have heard like Christian influencers such as like Angela Marie's Graffiti talk about how like literally that was like the era she listened to Taylor Swift was her Jezebel era.
Like, yeah, and you definitely had the Jezebel spirit through this entire era of our relationship.
Yeah. So that is something I felt it was really important to say because like that album I do believe led to my arrest was everything I've been like listening to in the lyrics and everything.
You're giving away the ending. Okay, so back to the story. So she shows up, and this is not the first time. There's been some physical altercations where she's gotten physical with me a couple times. but it was very mild, and it continued even after this episode to get worse actually over the next year. But this was like the pinnacle of escalation. And I've already experienced this, so I was like, nah, we're not doing this. So we're in the front of the house. She never set foot in this house
Yeah, I did.
until the cops were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so never set foot in the house on her free will. They wanted to have her interview in the house. She never set foot, just like in a calm demeanor. It was it was only in the distress of the law. So
Yeah.
she starts like screaming and yelling, gets out of the car, storms over to the grass. I'm walking to my car to go to her old apartment to pick up the rest of her belongings. And she's yelling and screaming, "We gotta take care of this right now." Blah, blah, blah. I don't know, a bunch of nonsense.
You were on your way to Walmart. You're like, I'm going to Walmart. I have to get some things. And I was like, no, I need to talk to you. And I like shoved you on the front lawn.
Yeah.
And then that.
So as soon as she did that, I was like, I'm leaving. I'm not getting involved in this. I got things to do. I got to work tomorrow. I got to go. And so she clearly wasn't like in a space to speak calmly. So I try to leave, and she's not gonna let me leave. She starts like blocking my car, and then we just playing this little game. And then I get into my car, and it went on for minutes. And I finally get into my car. Like we're like running circles around the car, playing chicken. Like, can I get there? Okay. And then she's like holding the front of my car hostage. Like, oh, you can't go. And then at one point, she gets in the back seat of my car. So then I get out and I get to run around on my car again. It's literally like out of a movie or something. And I get to running around my car, and I finally juked her. She ends up in front of the car. I get back to my car and I get in the front seat. But now she's like holding on to my door. I couldn't get it shut. So she's got a hold of my door. And we're fighting over the door. I got my door handle. And this is like a 2003 Volvo. Like it's an old car. And this happened in 2017.
Yeah.
So this is an old car. And like I'm surprised the door handle didn't rip off. And
I honestly forgot about that car.
Yeah. So she's got a hold of the top of the door, the top of the window and the side, and she's like ripping, and I'm one hand pulling, and so finally I was like, fine, I'm gonna have to kick her. So I like softly like kick her off the car. I don't want to hurt her, but I need my door. Like, give me my door back. I'm trying to leave. And then she grabs the door again. I kick a little harder. And I'm like, dang, dude, like she won't let go of the door. And at this point, I'm totally in like fight or flight mode. And she will not let go. I got her off the door, but she grabbed it again. So finally I was like, dang, I'm going to have to really like put some weight into this. So granted, I'm in the car, so there's only so much I can do. So I just full front kick her with my work boots on, blow her off the door, and barely get it shut. And I get it shut, and I put it in drive, and she got a hold of the mirror. So I barely beat her to the door. She gets a hold of the mirror, and I take off, floor it, and she is running with my car. She is running, holding on my mirror like she's going to stop the car with her bare hands. And smack, slams in the asphalt. She is so, by the grace of God, she didn't get ran over. Because then that would have been a whole nother story. But anyways, the neighbor, I mean,
Yeah, I let go of the mirror because I was like, oh my gosh, he's not slowing down. Like, you kept going faster.
I hit like second gear, yeah.
And I was like getting scared. I was like, oh shit, like I'm going to die if I don't let go. And sorry, I didn't mean to swear. So I let go, and I was like, I have to let go. Like, it's my only hope of living. And I literally went like flying in the air and like land like on my side.
Road rash, yeah.
It was bad.
And she's still in her work clothes.
Yeah.
We're all in work clothes. And then she, so thank God I had witnesses, my roommate and his girlfriend, and then the neighbor calls the cops on us, which I don't blame him, but he thought he was going to be like the hero and save the day. And I only know this because of his actions, because I lived there for like 6 months, and then he would never make eye contact with me. If he saw me getting out of my car, he would literally get out of the car,
Like
and then,
sideways
like,
or
turn
whatever.
sideways and like his back to me and avoided me at all costs. And then so he thought he was gonna be like the hero and save the damsel in distress. And then so he's watching the whole thing. Now all the neighbors are there. We've never moved in yet. Our bed is in the living room. Like, literally unpacking the house. And
Yeah.
so she ends up going to jail. They take her to jail. I didn't press any charges or anything, but the deal is domestic violence, someone's going away.
That's in every state.
And so she goes to jail, and that just like destroyed me. And then it wrecked I had a cheap ass phone. Sorry, pardon my language, but I had a really cheap phone at the time. And the plug was all like shorting out and it died. I didn't make it to the court case. So then a mandatory 30-day restraining order, and she's taking it all out of context. Like, you were trying to put me in there for good. And I was like,
well, I
no.
didn't even talk to you until after the 30 days because I couldn't. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, he really didn't even show up. Like, he must really want me in here. And I only memorized one number. And because in jail you only get one number, of a friend or family to call let them know you got booked. And so yeah, and it wasn't your number. I tried. I was like, oh, I don't remember his number. And then yeah, it was like really scary experience, and I'm just like sitting in there like crying. Well, I was like crying in the cop car. I was like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't so in shock, like, that I was actually in a cop car. Like, I was, like, saying some smarty pants stuff. And then...
She asked the jail for vegan food.
No, but this part's mine. You weren't there.
Oh, sorry.
Like, I don't even know what I said. Oh, I think I asked them if they actually eat donuts all the time.
Oh, my...
Cop car. I was like,
no way.
Yeah. I was like, so do you guys actually...
That's so rude. So, as you're going to jail.
Yeah. And they had a Starbucks sticker on their roof. So I was like, oh, do you guys really eat donuts all the time? Or do you like Starbucks instead? And they're just like, it's best that you're just quiet.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I mean, there was a lot of cops there. They had this one cop was in an undercover Mustang, like a Mach 1 Mustang.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get to the Orange County jail in Orlando, Florida. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like real. Like, I'm in jail.
Getting booked. Yeah, take your shoelaces off. Yeah.
They took everything, yeah. I look like a hot mess. You can't find my mugshot anymore though. It's gone because it's been more than 7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
7
Yeah,
years.
it all got expunged.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. But just the experience of being there, like I remember like
what was going through your head as you're like processing that?
Like they didn't put me in a jail cell like I thought, like when you see in TV, like bars or whatever. Like it was like one giant room with bunk beds, and it's all women who got charged for this or booked for the same thing.
Oh, so you're all there for domestic violence?
We're all there for battery.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like all women, and it's like a giant room, bunk beds, and like there's windows so you can see the guards like walking back and forth. But it's like sealed. Like they can't hear you. You can't hear them. Like it's like soundproof.
Yeah.
Like the door is like heavy duty. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, like this is where I'm sleeping tonight. Like I really screwed up. Like I was like,
this happened on the weekend too, just so you guys know. So she was there for 2.5, 3 days.
Yeah.
Till Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happened on Friday. Yeah. It happened on a Friday. I got out on Monday. But of course in jail they don't tell you that. Like they don't tell you when you're getting out. You think you're going to be there forever. Oh, and I did ask them that too. I was like, so am I going to be in there forever? And they're like, no, that's not how it works. And I was like, oh, okay.
Just done.
Yeah.
Just done.
So, yeah, I'm just like reflecting, like, what have I done? Like, I really blew it. Like, I really loved him. Like, I don't know why I had to be so crazy. Like, I don't know why I did that or this or that. Like,
And this is a lot of the times what happens when you get taken over by a spirit, that
yeah,
you your actions, when like after the fact, you're like, that was out of character. And it was so, like I said, you'd had a couple like swing at me, this or that, push me, but I mean, this whole thing was so out of character.
yeah, it was. It kind of shocked me too, like everything. But I was kind of scared to be in that giant holding place. Was
Didn't you
supposed
make some friends in there?
I did.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
I mean, what do? We don't have phones. We don't have.
No, but you kept in contact with at least one of them after the
Yeah, I
fact.
mean, we did like all huddle in this room and talk. Like, why are we here for? Like, tell our stories. Like, and like one girl got arrested because she was at Shake Shack and she threw ice at somebody.
Oh, jeez.
So
Women are wild.
I don't know what happened. They got in a fight and she was at the soda machine and she got, bad and literally went like that to the person that she was.
That'll put you in jail, huh?
Apparently in Florida it is.
Wow.
It's a good reason to go to jail in Florida.
I think you can go to jail for words. I think battery could be considered words.
Probably depends on what you're saying and the context of the words.
What state you're in.
In what state you're in. But Florida is pretty strict. So yeah, I did keep in contact with one of the girls. Not anymore, but that's not here or there. It's
Right.
like something else. But yeah, and then I didn't get to go to court in the jail because you didn't show up. So I mean, I did get to go to court, obviously, because I have to, like, to exit, but, like, I didn't have anyone, like, there for me, so I didn't get to do it in the way that everyone else was doing it.
Yeah. Because everyone else, obviously, like, someone shows up and then you just get released.
Yeah, and I was pretty scared because I knew no one was going to be there for me, so I was like, oh, I don't know.
I had every intention of being there.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, wow, he must really just be dumb as me. Like,
I should have, but I wasn't.
I was like, okay. And then they're like feeding us food, right? Yeah, because it was over the weekend, so there was like I'm in here for days, and they're feeding us food, like our first meal. I was like, oh my gosh, what is all of this? Like, and I was vegan at the time, and it was like coleslaw, like a sandwich, and some like cookies, and I was like, oh, do you have vegan options? And the guard thought I was being a smarty pants because that's what they are in prison and jail. They're just a bunch of smart mouths. And she thought I was being that. But I wasn't. I was being serious, but she didn't know that. Nor does she care either. She's just a jail guard. And she was literally like threatening me, like, you want to go upstairs? And I was like, what's upstairs? She's like, the prison. I was like, no. She's like, then you eat that or keep your mouth shut. And I was like, okay. It's like, all right, I guess I'm not eating. So, like, I just didn't eat.
Remember, our first date we had chicken. That's important. Now you're a vegan.
Yeah.
In a matter of like 6 months.
I think it was in July I decided to be a vegan.
Yeah, lovely for me.
Because I puked the whole way from St. Pete to Orlando. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm lactose. I need to go vegan.
Yeah. Didn't have anything to do with like the alcohol or anything. Or
Speed the milk. I mean,
we went to an alcoholic ice cream shop.
No, it was called Super Scoops. It was like a family-owned place in Treasure Island, also known as...
Was that a different ice cream shop? You remember the alcoholic one?
A flavor that had alcohol in it.
No, the whole place had alcohol in them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. It could have been a different trip, but there was an alcoholic ice cream shop.
No, it wasn't, because we went to Super Scoops. I was so excited to show you that place. It was this old lady owned it. Her families have owned it for generations.
Okay.
It was like a local family-owned ice cream shop on Treasure Island.
Anyways, that's not how you get lactose intolerant.
Whatever. Anyways, so... Yeah, and then I think it was like finally Monday. And they put us all in this one tiny closet and it's cold. And I didn't get any socks. So on my feet, and I only have my jelly shoes in jail because that's the ones you gave the cops.
Yeah, they let because all of our stuff is packed. So they were like, she needs a pair of shoes. They were nice enough to let you get a pair of shoes.
Yeah, so I have my jelly shoes.
Why didn't you have shoes on?
No.
What a crazy person. You know what I mean? In the streets with no shoes.
I don't know.
That's probably why you didn't have shoes, because you probably lost them when you were running down the road.
I don't know. Just let me get back to my story. So, and they didn't give me socks, but they gave everyone else socks.
Because you told them about the donuts.
Maybe, I don't know. And my feet are turning purple in this closet. They kept it so it wasn't a closet. It was like both ends had a steel door.
It's a hallway.
No, it was not a hallway.
No?
It was like
Just
a sauna, but like cold.
Okay.
It had like benches. We're all like sitting.
It's a holding room.
Sure. But, and it's so freezing in there. I thought I was going to die in there for real. Like, I'm like turning purple. And I'm like.
Okay, babe. So you get released. Let's move forward from this jail experience.
Okay.
So you get released, and we don't talk. And I try to talk. I'm bringing you flowers. I'm trying to talk to you. Trying to let you know.
And he scared the crap out of me when he did that because I didn't get a public defender. I was like so scared. I hired a lawyer, and
which is wild for not having me not press charges and you hire a lawyer, even though there's
I'd
no
never
charges.
been in trouble with the law before. I did not, and my parents were not involved in this at all. Like they just weren't. They didn't care. So I was just terrified. Like I had no one in my corner.
I know, and she wanted to pick up the phone, so I couldn't.
Well, I wasn't supposed to talk to you. And so he shows up to my old apartment, obviously, because I didn't move into the other place. And I see I hear Alexa, and I just ran to my car and took off. I was like so terrified. And so I called my lawyer and I was like, oh my gosh, he's at my apartment. He left me like dozen roses and a bottle of wine and something else. And he goes, just drive off. Like, don't engage with him because I could go back to jail if I'm caught or if you rat on me or something. And so I was like, and I'm like, pretty much was like, you follow the rules, you follow the law.
That's the key word there. If you're caught, and she thought they were like watching her every move.
I did.
Yeah, she was so paranoid.
I was so paranoid, and so I just like stayed. I went to the Walgreens across the street from my apartment.
So this happens, and so I spent that December, like that Christmas. I was so depressed, and I don't know. It must have been before this. So I had just been diagnosed bipolar. With the help of brainwashing from my mom and then dealing with this crazy relationship. And if you're around enough craziness, you'll become crazy yourself. And then gaslighting and everything, you can believe anything that you're told. And so, and if you go to the right doctor, they'll affirm all of that. And so anyways, they start putting me on meds and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And I've had one like serious moment where I was gonna unalive, where I was never gonna do it, but where I actually said it out loud, like I feel like I want to unalive myself because, when I first got diagnosed, I go back to work, and my mom, this was before the jail, like it must have been within a couple months of the jail.
I'm confused. I'm like, this isn't flowing.
No, we're gonna go back a little bit. This was before the jail thing. That's why I said before we leave 2017, I got to tell this part because this is important.
I think this was like around July, June.
Yeah, it's not that important.
Yeah.
So this happens, and because as I stated in previous episodes, I don't have the best relationship with my mother, and so I start to. She was telling me everything that happened in the past was my fault because I'm bipolar, and she should have got me help when I was still at home and all this stuff, which I was fine. When I was young, like I never had. Oh, it develops when you're older. There were signs when you're young. She even went so far as to say that I might have split personality, schizophrenia or something.
Yeah.
And she was
She got
self-diagnosed.
involved because I called her one night because we were just fighting so much, and I would like try changing everything to like make us not fight, like my wording, like how I said things. Like I would try everything. Like I thought I was trying to try like the way I was saying stuff or the
Yeah.
words. Like, oh, what if I say it this way? Maybe we won't be fighting. And I was just like done. I was like, maybe there's something wrong with him. So I called your mom. I just like got in my car and went for a drive and I called your mom. And I was like, hey, like, I know you don't know me. But I am dating your son.
We weren't speaking at the time.
And I was just like,
Me and
want
my
to
mom.
know if like maybe he's bipolar. She's like, well, I always.
I never knew this.
Yeah. I thought you knew,
So
sorry.
you brought this up? You put that thought in her head?
Well, and then she goes, well, I always thought he might be, but I never got the care for him, so I'm sorry you're dealing with it now. And so then that's why I was like, I think you need to make an appointment.
So
And
this happens. So I make the appointment. Go ahead. I go along with it. You know, I'm very open to, and everyone should be. If someone's bringing you, someone you care about and you respect is bringing you information, and there's problems going on in your life, never be too prideful to reflect on your own actions. And like you said, you were doing all you thought you could do. I was doing all I thought I could do.
yeah,
And so the one thing, like I was still in my situation financially, and she still had all these unrealistic means of like, these are what I expect. Expectations. Never have expectations because you don't know what's gonna like. Well, first of all, when you have expectations, you're living outside of the will of God because you don't know what He has intended for your life.
right.
So you should expect to just you just want to put a smile on the Lord's face every day. You know, it's a fine line by saying don't have expectations too, but when you start to put, you should have like expectations in life of like righteousness and, you know, being a virtuous person with good morals and living a holy life, but and selfless and love, which I was also selfish in action and in love. Both of us were, but you have to be able to understand like that you like I don't know where I was going with that, but it's important that like the expectations for the only have expectations for yourself. Don't project them on other people because
Yeah.
then you're always going to be let down. I guarantee you every human being in the world will let you down. I mean, that's literally the premise of the whole Bible. Before he ever created us, he knew we were all going to let him down.
Yeah.
He had no expectations for us. He had hope that we
Yeah.
would achieve these goals. It's okay to have hope, but from my view, you put a lot of expectations on me to do things that were just out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And I had tone, I had attitude, I had these things. Not saying I didn't, but a lot of that came from like a lot of the fighting was expectations of just things I couldn't achieve, which led to then like
Yeah.
I can't do that. And then that's where the attitude, that's where the infighting came in
Yeah.
because expecting dates, more dates
Well,
every
and
week.
I think
this
the
and
other
that.
problem is like looking back, knowing what I know now was your porn addiction.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, I think like a lot of times, like I just wanted your attention
Yeah.
and you weren't really giving it to me.
Well,
And like,
kind
there,
of.
like, in the way I wanted, like, or like desired like attention from you. Like, what?
I mean, also the only person I know that ever had to buy condoms by the
Yeah, but it's not about how many
I know.
times you have sex.
Well, so
It's
and
about the intimacy.
and I
And
agree.
like, you just weren't like present.
And
Like,
I agree. And I agree with that. And
and
let me say this.
okay.
So I agree with that. And I think that first of all, we should have never had sex ever.
Yeah.
And because you didn't know, so you had a hole in your heart from your father and you didn't truly know the Lord. And I didn't realize that until 2023.
Yeah.
And so during this whole time, she wanted me to get worldly help through a doctor. I wanted to go see a pastor. I wanted to go back to church. I was trying to lead us back to God. And for some reason, it wouldn't stick. We'd go to a church twice. We wouldn't go back. We'd go here. We wouldn't go back. Let's find a Bible. And I couldn't get her to
I
connect.
don't remember going to a church at all together.
Yeah, we went to a few, like 2 or 3 different ones. One was like that really cool black church that your friend went to, and they were like doing some real southern black gospel music. And
I don't remember that at all.
yeah, so we did that, and I kept trying to get her to go and like do Bible study plans on the Bible app and stuff. And she had a Bible and she prayed like she said, but there was a disconnect.
I didn't know how to like have a personal relationship with God, but like also like what you said, like I had a hole in my heart from like my dad.
And so let me finish this thought real quick, and then I want to hold that.
Okay.
So because it's really important that people understand this, because you nailed it. I wasn't giving you the intimacy you wanted, and in this whole time, she was also. So I found a woman that would enable me in the porn addiction that I had, because she was doing porn. She was doing nude photography. She was in the world of the sex world. So I was like, it's all good. If you're literally doing it, how can you shame me for watching it? So
even
she
though
couldn't.
you looked really uncomfortable when you came to that one shoot in the forest.
Yeah. Well, and that's the perverse thing about porn. No one's gonna have a problem looking at it on the screen, but the second that you're personally involved in it, you start to feel the sin of it, the disconnect of like, oh, I don't want to be here. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
And especially when it's your girlfriend. And so, but you were requesting intimacy through sex, and you had this like a nymphomaniac, like you just wanted sex more than a humanly possible. Especially when I was working 2 jobs and working 60 hours plus hours a week. And so that's how you asked for the intimacy. So you didn't know how to communicate what you really needed either. And I feel like a lot of women probably face that.
I don't think it's that I didn't know how to communicate it. I just assumed like that's all you would give me because that's what men want.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's how you thought to communicate that. So you didn't know how to communicate it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you thought the world expected of you, which is not what I wanted and not what you wanted either.
Yeah.
But that's what we both were like, okay, well, she's telling me she needs more of this, so I'm going to give it to her. And she keeps telling me that she's not getting enough of me, even though I'm literally like, dude, I can't give you any more of myself. And so,
yeah.
But you didn't have, not that maybe you didn't have the words, or that you didn't think that that would even be achievable. And then there was that void. You can't, and I always used to say this, like, if your love tank's empty, you can't love anyone else.
Yeah.
And it will, for all of us, it will always be empty.
So cliche, but it's so true.
And it will always be empty because you might have had a father-sized hole, but you had a Christ-sized hole on top of the father-sized hole. And we all have a Christ-sized hole in our heart. I also had that father hole, but on top of that, before I ever filled that, I had a Christ-sized hole.
Yeah.
So no matter how much you love yourself or how great your family is, for anyone listening, you will always have a sense of, I'm not doing, there will always be something deep down.
Like you're not enough until you find God.
Yeah. And there's like going to be some time in your life where you feel like a sense of hopelessness. And no matter how much highest mountain you can achieve, I've achieved all my dreams, and you'll still get to that mountaintop and be like, oh, but it wasn't what I thought it was. Yeah. And that's why, because that Christ-sized hole in your heart can only be filled. So you're not going to love anyone through your own, that cup metaphor works, but it's not your love that's going to overflow. It's you're going to fill that cup with his love, and then that overflows to everything you do. Mm-hmm. And that's the truth of the message there. Yeah. But I wanted you to get back to you talking about your father-sized hole.
Just my dad wasn't like a super huggy or like affectionate father, like, and he never like called me like sweet names like as a little girl, like his princess or like sweetheart, anything like that. And then so he was like pretty rough and didn't really treat me like a daughter. Treating me like, I don't know, military member that needed boot camp. Like,
Well, and
so,
the type of religion, the type of Jesus you met in your childhood was a religious Jesus, not a.
that's true.
So that's a good time to talk a little bit about your
Yeah.
history with faith.
Yeah.
I brought up that you didn't really know Christ, so maybe talk to the camera about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, both my parents come from like a Catholic background. Both my parents left the Catholic faith. And they didn't raise my brother or myself as Catholic, but my dad especially, like he definitely acted like a Catholic. My whole childhood, very legalistic, very like religious spirit, meaning like, oh, you have to, if you don't do this, like Jesus is not going to forgive you. You have to repent. You need to get on your knees and repent. You can't just repent. You have to be on your knees and repent. And
If you miss church one
yeah,
time.
if you miss church, geez, I don't know. Like you name it, he probably said something about it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like my dad made me get confirmed. That's the word I was looking for the other day. Confirmed into the faith at 13, and I would be like, I don't know. Like, oh, like you have to pick if you want to follow Jesus at 13. This is the time. And I didn't know, like at 13, my parents were going through some ugly stuff. And yeah, I was just dealing with a lot. And so I just didn't know. I didn't know, like, if I wanted to follow Jesus or not, if I'm being honest. Like, I didn't really know what that meant either. Like, I was like, I don't know. What am I agreeing to? Like, I don't know. And so I was like, well, I guess like I'll get confirmed the faith. Like that sounds like at least that's like the safer option, you know? So I did, but like I didn't really feel like anything supernatural. I didn't feel any like Holy Spirit. I honestly never was taught the Holy Spirit like growing up in a Lutheran church.
So parents were Catholic, but you grew up in a Lutheran church.
Yeah, I did. We went to a Presbyterian church in California. But when we moved to Minnesota, it was Lutheran.
And then just a little bit of context on your childhood. Why did you move from California? And I think it's important too because personally for me, tell it how you want, but I feel like it's a little even more weighty that they just kind of threw it at you because of your level of comprehension with everything you had going on medically.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should have really sat you down, or your dad, because it was important to him, should have sat you down and made sure you comprehended. So do you want to talk a little bit about that part of your life?
Yeah. I never told people.
You can tell the camera.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, we can move past that.
No, it's fine.
A lot of people might relate.
I doubt that. It's like 1%.
I know, but they might relate to feeling inadequate to having these.
Little, I was diagnosed with Landau-Kuffner syndrome, which is a rare neurology disorder that happens in kids from like 3 to 7, and it happened to me at 5. It's unexplainable seizures. It's a learning disability that happens in the brain as a result because of the seizures. Because seizures, they just kill brain cells. That's what seizures do. Seizures are like it's like when you get mail too fast and the emails ding 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 ding.
Mhm.
Like that's what causes a seizure. It's like too many messages, and then your brain can't process it fast enough, and it short circuits, and you have a seizure. And so a lot of people who have epilepsy have learning disabilities because the brain getting brain cells are being killed. So I had my first seizure at 5, and then it nearly killed my life, killed me. Like I almost lost my life at 5. My dad said that, obviously he told me this like many years later, but he was in the just like waiting for me in like the hallway or like waiting room or whatever, and he was just pacing like back and forth, like praying and praying that God would bring me back, that I wouldn't die. Um and obviously I'm here, so
Yeah, amen to that.
I'm alive. But I did lose my ability to speak for an entire year from 5 to 6. My dad taught me sign language, so I couldn't communicate. And he was kind of strict about that. Like every day after work, we're working on that. And there would be times like I didn't want to do that, but like he kind of he bought me like this sign language book and like all this stuff. And that was like another thing he prayed for my ability to speak again, to come back. And then when it did, I had to do like serious speech therapy. Like my mom had to take me somewhere to learn how to like say certain like letters and sounds that I couldn't say or had trouble saying. And then I pretty much had to see like a speech therapist most of my life until like high school. It was like I did have to go see a speech therapist inside my middle school. In elementary school, I think my mom had to drive somewhere to take me, but
So your middle school had one on site.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then in high school, um I had a paraprofessional. Well, I had a paraprofessional my entire life. It wasn't just high school, but it was more embarrassing in high school. um and then but I had to work so hard to get rid of her. That sounds mean. But like you shouldn't want someone following you around everywhere.
Yeah, and that comes with a stigma, right?
It comes with a stigma. It was hard to make friends. People thought,
Yeah, this adult that
yeah,
follows you around
yeah.
as a
And then
kid, yeah.
so they followed me everywhere. They would sit in the back of the classroom with a notepad and just take notes for me because I wasn't able to write. This is like so I'm born in 93. So this is like before, they print out the pre-notes and like they do in college now. And you just fill in the blank. Blank. This is like when they had the projectors and you had to write everything down. And so I just wasn't able to do it fast enough before they moved on to the next slide. So she was in charge of taking my notes, and my job was just to listen and absorb information and then ask any questions I had.
Then you guys would like review at the end of the day and the end of the class.
Yeah, she would like go over it with me. I always had to go to a case manager, which is someone who's in charge of you if you have an IEP. And an IEP is like anyone who has like a special accommodations for learning. So if you are autistic, you have an IEP. If you have a learning disability like I did, you have an IEP. Like anyone who needs extra help to do well in school. Um, and then in Minnesota they do like state tests to graduate. So I had to do that too. And I passed the reading and the writing and the reading on the second try. And then the math one, you can only allowed to take them 3 times. So the math one I took 3 times and I still couldn't pass. So they had to like force pass me in order for me to graduate because like everything else was good. Like I had good grades. It was just that. And because I have an IEP, like it's like
Able to make an
it was
exception.
legally okay for them to force pass me for me to graduate. And like I actually did really well because like in school as a whole, because like my high school had like student of the year and then like the subject like student of the year of for chemistry or science, and then reading, writing, whatever. Well, I got nominated Student of the Year for special education. And when I first heard that, like, I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, no one's allowed to know about my secret. Like, this was my secret.
But you have someone following you everywhere, so it's no secret.
Yeah, but they just know she's taking notes. They don't know what's wrong with me. I never told anyone.
So once that it's announced, do you feel like, oh, it's all out there?
Yeah, like now they really know, because people would not talk to me in class because I was weird, right?
I know, yeah.
So they don't know me. They don't know what's really going on. They've been in classrooms with me for like years.
4 years.
And they don't know nothing. And so, yeah. So, I mean, and then the case manager is like a study hall where like you go and you get extra help with like classes that you are having trouble in. Your case manager teacher will like help you with that specific subject or homework assignment. And so when, like, I did have some friends and they were always the rejects. Like, I was a reject.
Isn't that the chosen children of God, though?
Yeah. So,
through your weakness, you will use it as strength.
So, they would be like, "Oh, what's that class?" I'd be like, "Oh, it's just a Bible study." Or no, sorry, not Bible study. It's a study hall. It's like, when you do homework, like.
It is.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like, so at 13, when your dad tries to like, well, not tries, but tells you got to get confirmed, what was your level of comprehension at what? Such a. It's hard for adults to understand what accepting Christ means. Billions of people don't do it and don't understand.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, like, what was going through your head? And then, like, today, it's not so, like, one thing that still lingers is that you don't have, you have, when you get, like, something, when you're pressured, hence probably why the math test was really hard for you, because when you're pressured, you kind of freeze.
Yeah, I do.
And so and your dad's very pressuring even when he's being gentle. So when he presents you with that question, like, and he knows this, right? He's your father. So, like, so you really are like under the gun. Right now I gotta be confirmed, right? That's how it was presented.
Not like that day, but
did he like
while
sit down
I'm 13, like the whole year of being 13,
So
I need to decide.
Did he like sit you down? Were you able to ask questions?
It was like a quick conversation in the car, like, "Oh, now you're 13, you need to decide." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, I don't know. Like, and he didn't really explain anything. I didn't have the knowledge to have the right questions to ask. And I don't know. I was just like, I don't know what that means. Like, and he was just like, "It's just a ceremony, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, okay.
So nonchalant about your eternal life.
So, anyway, so he was here in October and I asked him about it again. I was like, "Why did you make me do that? Like, why did you make me decide something so, like it's a big deal? Why did you make me decide that? Like, at 13, like, why do I need to know that, like, do this now?" And he's like, "Oh, that's just when you get confirmed in the faith." And I was like,
such legalism, a religion.
Like, okay, so the way he said it was like it wasn't that big of a deal, when to me it was like a huge deal.
And where is that in the Bible that you like? You know what I mean? Like, that's not how that works.
So I don't know. Like, because I was confirmed in the faith, I thought I was, I don't know, like, good to go, I guess, in other words.
And he never like was like, "Yeah, but you need to, like, there's more to it," or no. I was just like, "Okay, you're good."
I mean, I went to youth group and all that.
But he was satisfied with your level of,
I don't know. I guess he must have. I mean, when I told him in April that it's my first year of being a Christian, he was like, "What? What do you mean? So you were faking it the whole time?" And I was like, "No, I wasn't faking it. I just, like, didn't realize I wasn't actually saved." Like,
that's what I was trying to get at.
Like, I was only confirmed, But that didn't mean anything to me because I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like, it's just some ceremony. I get a piece of paper. Like, okay, cool. Like, but what does that mean? And it wasn't until like 23 that I
2023, not when you were 23.
yeah, sorry. So let me clarify that. 2023
Okay.
October.
Let's before we get too far ahead, we'll get to that. But let's get back. I just wanted to dive into your past a little bit. But let's get back to where we were in the story. So we've touched on my mental health. We are now into 2018, right? And so 2018, we had the lawyer, you talked, so February. When did we go to that hippie sabotage concert?
I don't remember. I think it was in the summer though.
What time? I know where I was going with this. So I'm trying to get you back. Because for some reason, and this is actually like victim abuser 101, because it was in the pamphlet they gave me, because they gave me a pamphlet. I was like, I'm not a victim. I love her. And I knew very early on I was going to marry you.
Yeah, I did.
And it kind of pissed me off, honestly. It really did. And I'd have these fights with God, like I said, I didn't even want to date. Like I would like.
What did God say to you?
Well, I just like when so a lot for when I was still in the world. So I was saved at 12. For those that didn't listen to the previous episodes, you should. But I was saved at 12. And then backslid from like 18, a little dabbled in sin here and there before, go out, had my first beer, stuff like that. Lost my virginity at 17, stuff that's worldly and totally condemning sin. But my mom being like a righteous Christian did all these same things. So my example of holiness and righteousness was flawed. I was born out of wedlock. My dad didn't want me, so I don't have a good moral. I don't have a good example of what is righteous. So in my sense of the world, I waited till I was 17.
So what did God say to you?
I'm gonna get there. But what I realized was during this time of like my young adulthood, I was smoking and drinking and doing all these things. Yeah. But I'd have this, what I thought was my gut instinct. This voice, but it wasn't that. And so what I've learned later in life after all these things have been confirmed. Yeah. That was the Holy Spirit talking to me, but it was so faint because of all the sin, not even the sin, but the particular sins of using drugs. Yeah. And I consider alcohol a drug. It is a drug. So is sugar, so is caffeine. But alcohol and weed, it was like barely getting a signal on the radio. Like it's so faint. Yeah. So it's there and I feel it, but it's not guiding my every moves. But I just knew in the back of my head, like, oh, this is going to happen. And so anyways, with that being said, like I don't really know what he said, but I just knew in my instincts, my bones knew you were the one. But there was never like a hear now. Like sometimes I'll just hear the Holy Spirit speak to me and be like, call that person or do this or whatever, especially during fasting and prayer. But at that time, there was no real like clear moment or thing that I heard. I just knew. It was just a knowing. Okay. And so I know, and I just knew. And then at some point, so February comes, and I go. This is when we go to the ice cream museum or the ice cream exhibit. Because that was for my it was my birthday.
No, we were fighting. So
was this your birthday or my birthday?
It was your birthday.
Yeah, so it was February.
We were supposed to go together, but then you didn't want to go or something.
No, we weren't back together yet. You were going without me, and this was right after.
Yeah, I was kind of like, screw you. I'm going without you. I'm mad at you. And then
This is right after the whole jail and everything. So you're still salty about all that, but I'm determined to
oh,
get
is
back.
that what I was salty
Yes.
about?
So
Oh,
I'm determined to get back in your life because that happened in February or December, January.
yeah.
Then because the 30-day,
I think I was upset because
you still thought I like did that on purpose. And
is that
so
what it was?
yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
determined. I'm like, no. So I was like, I guess I'm going
Yeah,
I'm gonna be in Miami too. And so
yeah, so like a friend of mine that I went to high school with actually lives in Miami, which is the only reason why I live in
Yeah.
Florida is because he flew me out pretty much after I had graduated. He graduated a year before me, and I fell in love with Florida. I was like, I'm moving to Florida. Anyway, so it was him. And I was like, hey, you want to go to this ice cream museum with me? Because, like, Dylan's not going, blah, blah. And then
I forced my way down there.
just like force your invite.
Yeah.
It was so awkward. And like him and it's never been like a sexual relationship.
I know, I met him.
We're strictly friends. So it wasn't like weird in that way. It was weird because I invited him to go with me and then all of a sudden you show up.
Yeah, we all went.
Like
Yeah. And so, I was determined to get back in your life. And it worked. And let me fix your microphone.
Thanks.
And it worked. But so anyways, that happened and that was
worked. It worked how? In what way?
well, you're right, because there was a huge fight but I got this like extravagant high rise.
Yeah, and I was mad because May was supposed to be there, but then she invited two of her other friends that
Yeah.
lived in Miami and like kind of didn't even tag along with me like she was supposed to.
And then I think you got mad I didn't have like enough flowers or something, but
I was mad at everything.
yeah, you were
I was just
at the-
mad.
yeah. But so that's where our relationship really starts, because so that could be considered like our first breakup in our relationship was at
Yeah.
Winter Park,
Yeah.
and then we build ourselves back together forcefully, February, and then but it didn't even go well.
No, it was like we were fighting the entire time.
Yeah, but we had fun and like
We did have fun in a weird, twisted
And then
way.
I brought it up because that's when we went. Was that the time in Miami that we went to the nude beach? Because that was
No,
important.
that wasn't
So
that.
that was your birthday.
That was my birthday.
Yeah. So let's just.
Of the same year.
Yep. So we're there. So we go there. Now we're back together. All right. So we come back and we got a lot of things to work out. Seeing each other. She's
Is
not
this still
allowed.
February we're talking
Yeah.
about? Okay.
So she's not allowed to come to the Winter Park house. So I sneak her in and
Yeah,
all this
I
stuff.
wasn't supposed to be 50 miles from that.
Yeah, that restraining order had nothing to do with me. That was the landlord. That was like, you can't be anywhere
That's
near
true.
this.
It was the landlord.
Yeah, so that had nothing to do with me. That was just like a stipulation with your freedom was.
Yeah, so you had to like hide me kind of because you
I
had to
would
roll
bring
in the garage
I
and
would
shut the door before I could get out. I
Yeah,
was a high profile criminal.
because you act like everyone was, you thought like they're out to get me. So paranoid.
After you go to jail, you kind of think that way.
I've been to jail. I never thought that way.
Well, I still feel that way.
I know you do. And so anyways, so we're back together. And then this is how wild she is. She was going to go to a festival. We're going to talk about the hippie sabotage. That was a great concert.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to go to New Orleans.
Yeah. And then she's so naive. I'm like, like, remember, she went to jail over me doing drugs. So she's going to go to New Orleans where all the drugs her friends are going to do totally, raves, Molly, ecstasy, probably going to get roofied, going to have mushrooms, acid, like
He
all the
literally
drugs.
drive me to the airport and I literally forced my ticket.
Yeah, I was like, what the whole time trying to talk her out of it because I was like, what's going to happen. And I know, like, I don't know any of these people. I was being real protective. And I'm like, this is bad idea.
I did know Kylie.
I know it, but you didn't know them. Like, you didn't know them. Like, oh, they're all going to stay clean. Like, they have the same standing on this as I do. And you were like, yeah, I think they are going to do all these drugs. I was like, yeah, that's what people go to these
They
things
literally
for.
took me to MCO and I was like, And you're like, last minute, this is your last chance to
I got
back
on my
out.
phone and I was like, look, we can go to a rave event. We can go to Hippie Sabotage tomorrow night. And that's how like I convinced you. So we go. So I save her from this headache because I was like, you're going to be stuck there.
Yeah.
And all these people are going to be selfishly doing drugs and you're going to be the only one. And you're going to ruin it all. And you're going to be stuck there this whole weekend.
Well, not only am I going to ruin it for them.
No, for you. You're going to ruin it for you.
Oh.
Because you're going to be fighting Storm off like you do because there's that Jezebel again. If I don't get my way, screw the world. I'm doing what I want. And even though you put yourself in a position to be in that wrong, you know what I mean? You were in the wrong position. You weren't thinking like you trying to conform them to you, even though you're in their environment.
Are you sure you just didn't want me to go to New Orleans without you?
I said that. I
You
was like
didn't
being
want me to
protective.
go?
No, I didn't like that you were going down there
Well,
like,
now you have to spend more money because Louisiana is still a state I haven't been to.
oh, that's fine.
And that's kind of why I wanted to go. I'm like, oh, it's in New Orleans. It's in a place I've never been. Like, let's go to a rave somewhere I don't know.
So back to the story. So I've been through there. I'll take you there one day. So
It's my first time ever hearing you say that.
That's fine. So back to the story. So we go to Hippie Sabotage. We have a great time. It's in a really cool venue. And then the whole way, how crazy she was. So we like have a great night. And she got me to quit smoking for like 30 days or something. But so we go down there and
it's in St. Pete in an open venue.
yeah,
it's the
oldest venue in this state. And it was like really old, and so that was awesome. It's shoulder to shoulder. It's like a little,
so cool.
It's like a square, like a little square between these buildings.
Yeah,
and we're in there.
Awesome.
It was, and I've never been to anything quite like it. And I've seen them again, but it was just like the environment. And then we had a great time, and then we head back, and I had the wrong tone or something, and she just storms off. She has no idea where the car is. She doesn't know. We're not in town. She knows. She has no friends here. She just takes off. And so I am like, okay. So I creepily stalk her about a block and a half away.
No, I know what it was because you threw a blunt as we exit.
I wasn't smoking.
Well, I got mad about something.
Yeah, exactly. Something. And so I'm not smoking. So this is, again, one of those moments where I'm like, why am I dating her? Like, what am I doing? I just like saved her whole weekend. Like, again, spent money. I don't have to do this. So this is still the type of relationship we have. Only reason I bring this up is this is like still the level of toxicity that's in our nothing.
I'm literally walking on the sidewalk, and you're driving so slow, and you're like, "Get in the car! You're gonna ruin your shoes."
So I let her walk until I got to the car. She keeps walking past the car, so I just let her keep walking. I get in the car.
And then you find me.
You were like 2 blocks over, but you just keep going straight. So I was like, okay, this is where my car is. So I go and I get in the car, and then I come pick you up. But I didn't want to follow you too closely because then I was like, someone might call the cops on me. And I'm like, what am I going to explain? I'm just trying to keep her safe. That sounds like real stalkerish. And so, anyways, yeah. And she's like speed walking in heels after just having a night of dancing in these same heels, like just blowing her feet out. And I was like, so anyways, so that's where we're at. And something happens again. We break up one more time. Oh, the Miami thing. So that separates us. And so then speaking about.
That wasn't it, but go ahead.
So we're just going to jump to June to Miami. So she takes me to a nude beach, which I've told her I watched porn before, and she takes me to a nude beach.
Yeah, but you said you didn't have a problem anymore, and your mom was like, "No, he's lying. He still has a problem."
If you're not having a problem with it, it wasn't a problem. Like that's what I was didn't understand. Like you're literally doing it. So, anyways, it wasn't like a problem. I wasn't like watching porn every day, like all I think about.
No, I thought you were cured. Like from your porn addiction. Like I thought you were like healed, you don't do it anymore. I thought that's what you meant by like it's not a problem.
Well, now so you understand what's going on. So we go to this new wants to go to a nude beach. It's like her dream to go to Miami nude
I've
beach.
been there before.
I
I
know,
just
but
wanted
you
to
really,
say you because I was like,
because that's something I wanted to
no,
do.
because I feel okay. This is me living in the world, but I felt so liberated just being naked and being happy in my body that God made me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, it's such a liberating feeling. You should feel the same way. You should just feel free.
I did not want to go at all. It's the furthest thing. You wanted Polaroids. You wanted to go. You wanted to take photos and so this is straight Satan. This is straight Satan because what happens next, because these people just are waiting for us.
They weren't waiting for
They
it.
were. They literally were waiting for us because we were there. We leave. You go to the bathroom, or we go to the bathroom or whatever to leave, and they're literally like waiting there for us at the corner. They weren't just like, oh, that's the first couple. They were waiting for us. They had seen us on the beach, and like, of course, like that's my weakness. And so then these fantasies that I've never had before of having some swinger foursome, and so immediately was like, nah, we don't do that.
I was
Turned it
like,
down.
no, we don't do that.
I did too. And I was like, no. But then in the car,
You were like texting Lloyd, and I knew you were texting him mad. Like, because I knew. I'm like, he wanted to do it.
yeah, so that's what happened. No, I did not. I would have never been okay with it. But the fantasy of wanting to do it.
You wanted to do it. The text, I ripped his phone out of his hand or something.
No. Why don't you let me tell the story? You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So that's not what happened. And so the fantasy of wanting to do it, it's the same thing of like, it's the same way I wasn't comfortable being at your photo shoots. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to some other man being with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But the fact that some other woman wanted to be with me, and she was attractive. She was older, but she was attractive. Not that attractive, but when someone's like, I want to have sex with you, you're like, oh.
I
So
was
there's
like
that.
immediately like turned off. I was
Yeah,
like,
I turned the whole thing down immediately. You didn't even talk. You're saying you talked. You didn't talk. I turned it down.
I probably just walked away then.
No, I literally was like, no, we're not into that. And we talked about it on the way back to the car. But then on the way back home, I'm like, wow, man. And the wheels start turning and all the lustful thoughts start creeping in. And I had texted my mom or my grandma, but then I also was texting Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma texted me, but it was on the screen of Lloyd. So you're like, oh, you see my grandma's name pop up.
Oh, yeah.
You grab my phone, but it's Lloyd's messages there. And then you saw like, oh man, she had big breasts and all this stuff. And you're like, what is this? And you were like, I'm going to jump out of the car. So I
told you to get out of my car because we drove my Mustang.
I was driving.
Yeah, I know. So I said, pull over, get on my car, and I'm driving home. You find a ride.
Yeah, not going to happen. So I fly all the way home, like driving like crazy, man, and pissed off, and you're mad, and we're mad.
We get back to my apartment, and I was like, I don't want you coming in. I don't want to see you. You literally dropped me off, and I shut the door on your face, and I was like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, so that's the second time we separated.
We didn't separate. We just weren't talking for like 3 days.
Whatever. So that's the second time that we quit. That's like a pivotal moment of like problems. Winter Park, then that. And then the next one, I don't know what happened. It would have been so anyways, this is a trend through our relationship. So we'll just skip to the end.
No, you can't skip to the end.
The end is like the next part.
Okay. I don't know.
We're going to go skip to Brook Court.
Okay.
What's in between? What'd I miss?
You don't remember what happened in July of 2018?
No. What happened?
Oh, babe. That Miami thing that happened in June of 2017. It wasn't 2018. No, it was. Okay.
It was 2018.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It was for your birthday.
Yeah.
Because we went to that. So anyways, that's not important. So we're moving forward in this conversation.
Okay.
And then so at some point, I start selling weed by the pound. So we get our own.
That was after my jail thing.
So that's where we're going. That was in Brook Court. So that's after the MMA situation.
You were doing it before because I was still living on my apartment.
I started doing it with Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. So now we're just gonna get to that point. So we're not living together, but I'm doing this. So I start selling weed by like 5 pounds a week. Like now I'm big time drug dealing.
Yeah, and I tried to tell you to stop, and you wouldn't listen to me.
But she still wants to move back in. So we live together. We get another place, and that went pretty well. Never had the cops called again, but she gets physical again, and it's just the same. So we've established this pattern of just toxic fighting, me problems, her problems, just button heads all the time. And then, but I realized, like I said, she was getting physical again.
For me, you're kind of repeating yourself, so I'm just gonna cut you off.
I'm gonna talk about why I put you in MMA.
I started that March of 2018.
Yeah, MMA. Yeah. So we're gonna talk. So why I put you in MMA? You didn't do MMA until Brook Court.
That was March of 2018. I just looked at pictures.
Okay, so she starts doing MMA, but I can't afford us both because I was doing it, then you start doing it, and I can't afford us both to do it. But she needs it because she's like so much calmer, and all that physical stuff happens at the gym.
Yeah.
And it's like anyone that has that kind of temper, go do MMA, please. It's really good for you, and I highly recommend it. And but then there's all kinds of things that happen. There's cheating that happens. There's fighting. There's yelling. There's suicidal stuff that goes on. And
not because of MMA. That's just what happened.
No, we're just gonna summarize the end of our first period of our relationship and move on to the second half. We're getting into an hour and 20 minutes. So then we get to the point where there was a lot of gaslighting, and I kick her out for the cheating. I bring her back in. We've established this pattern. And then finally, the breaking point was I'm going to unalive myself. 3 times she tells me that, 3 nights in a row. I work graveyard, she works days. But every time I come home, I'm like, we got to talk about it. She doesn't want to talk about it. So finally, I was like, fine, screw you. And I send her a link on how to hang yourself from the stairs. And I'm sleeping on the couch because it was just that. It was just like a way to get her back. And then I go to sleep, and boom, 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 boom. The cops are at my door, and they take me to the psych ward. And I had to do a 3-day. They call it in California, it's 5150. In Florida, it's the Baker Act. So I get Baker Acted, and I have to spend 3 days. And I had insurance, but they didn't tell me to bring my insurance card. So I got to go to the state ward where all the real crazy people are. And I'm in there with so many psychos, like people that are doing crazy violent things to themselves to get out of the run from the law. Actual people that think there's which now knowing they were probably like fighting real demons and stuff, and seeing, because they're seeing things, talking to people, stuff going, no drugs involved, just crazy.
Yeah.
And there's real chemical imbalances and stuff, and people see things. There was one lady, though, I remember, she was in another room. There was the main room, and she was in another ward, but we could hear her in our bedrooms.
Wow.
Screaming day and night, all 3 days. Wow. She was so it's our rooms, lobby, like main room we all hang out in all day, and then a hallway, a door, a hallway, her room, and we can hear her scream all day, all night, bloody murder.
Wow.
And so I get released, and in there I made the decision that is it. And we'll get back to when God talked to you about that after I finish. But that was when I was like, so this is going to end really bad. So that's it. And I drew the line right there. And so when I get out, she was still like having a hard time letting go. So God had told you, like, you got to cut them loose. And when was that? A few months before?
Well, so I think I left in August. It was like August or like September that I moved out. I want to say
I think it was August.
It was like end of August, September, I
In
think.
August.
But
That was when it finally ended for good.
but there's something that kind of triggered like a next level of like crazy in me. Remember, we had a miscarriage in 2018.
Yeah. We can't bypass that. So that I did not know this until we got back together.
No, I told him when I left, right before I left.
Oh yeah, I didn't believe you though.
Yeah, you didn't believe me. You're like, oh, it's
I
not
thought
me.
you were trying to like keep us together.
Huh?
At the time, I thought it was like a way to try and keep us together.
I wasn't trying to keep you. I was just trying to tell you the truth before I left.
I know.
Because I didn't know if I was going to see you again. And I was like, he deserves to know if that he lost a child.
Yeah. So tell that part. It's really important.
So, yeah, I don't remember what day in July, but I was like just casually going to the bathroom and then plop, something pops out. And I was like, that's not a poop because it came from something else and it felt weird. And I looked in the toilet bowl and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it has eyes. It looked like a little fetus, like alien thing. Like, and I was like, oh, should I take a picture and ask someone what this is? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't want that on my phone. Like, it just looks so alien looking. Like, it was like freaking me out. And I was like, I text my friend May, who was like my best friend at the time. Like, I knew she had a miscarriage. So I text her and I was like, telling her like the brown spotting and like the baby, the eyes, it was like a blood, like a clump of blood clots too. And she was like, oh, wow, that's exactly what happened to me. But I didn't have insurance. So I didn't go to the doctor. I had no way to like confirm like anything. I didn't even know I was pregnant. That's how I found out I was pregnant. And I didn't tell Dylan because like I was so embarrassed. I was like accumulated because he's always talked about wanting kids and he wants a family, yada yada. And so I was like, well, if my body can't even do the thing it's supposed to do, like that's really gonna
And you were
make
told
him
by
not, huh?
And you were told by doctors your whole life with irregular
Yeah,
periods.
since I was 18 when I got my first pap smear that I wasn't like likely to have children because my body fat percentage at the time when I'm 18 doing sports and like because I just graduated high school, so like I had been very active in sports and I had a small percentage of body fat, and they were like, because of this small percentage of body fat, you're probably not likely to be able to be fertile.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, kind of just like, wow, like, okay, I guess I'm never having kids. And
So that's what you told me our whole relationship.
yeah. And so, and then he always wanted kids. And that, because of what I was told at 18, I was like, no, I don't really want them just because I thought I couldn't. So I was like, why hope for something?
And then this reinforces that.
And then I was like, whoa, that's probably why I was so shocked. I was like, whoa, like, what is going on? And I didn't tell him. And then he told me, like, after we reconnected, after a major breakup, like years later, that I was like, so, because I didn't know I was doing this, but you were like, yeah, you started sleeping in the other room. You became distant and like this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize I was doing that. I
doing
was
all kinds of like picking more fights because we had gotten a little bit better.
Yeah, we
Because
had.
the MMA was really helping you, but then that's also when the cheating happened.
Yeah.
Was after that, and I forget to mention this, but also like why I was like Satan was at work.
Uh-huh.
That happened at the nude beach. So the only time we
Yeah, you
ever
didn't
had
tell me that.
the only time I had mentioned it like recently.
But you didn't tell me at the time.
Yeah, it came to me in a fast. I actually apologized.
I know,
but it
you
came
did.
to me in a fast. You'll repress memories, especially during chaotic times.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blur, and
Yeah,
so
it is.
fasting a few months ago, and the Lord came to me and was like, "You need to apologize for that." And I was like, "But the only time we ever had unprotected sex, because you were like religious about condoms,
I was.
and I was like, I got good pull-out game. You were like, no condoms, and I was okay, respect that. But the one time was when we were at the nude beach. I ain't got no pockets, but we had sex in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, I was like, nah, I'm not going to ruin this moment.
You don't need to be vulgar on the
And
podcast.
I'm just telling you the lustful, like the worldly thoughts, that was as far as I was going. And I didn't ruin the moment, but I ruined our relationship
Yeah.
and, really changed and a life. And I think that, I mean, that would have been, yeah, so that whole thing was just
It
full of
destroyed me
sin.
in a way.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, like, I healed from it, but, like, after, like, we broke up and we didn't, like, for, like, 2.5 years, 3 years, whatever you want to say,
It was like 2 years.
I just round up to 3 because no one wants to listen to you say 2.5. No one cares. So,
It wasn't even 2. It was 2.
okay, whatever. Anyways, like, I literally did not care about anything after that. Like, I did not care about my credit score. I had a really good credit score. I did not care. I stopped paying my bills. I just literally gave no freaking, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
I lost the love of my life. I can't bear children.
You like sabotaged your life.
I sabotaged my life like tenfold.
Yeah.
Like,
Self-hatred at the max.
It was kind of like that, yeah. And I just kind of went deeper into this Jezebel spirit, kind of, in a way. Like I was.
So before you go any further, at this point, we'll just conclude that part of our life. So now I get out of she does tell me the truth. I don't believe it. I just got out of psych ward and she didn't want to leave, but you told me like a few months before, like, before we leave this chapter of our life, you got to tell him, like, God had told you, if you don't let him go, you'll never see him again. But you didn't have the ability to let me go. Like, you were still stuck in the toxic relationship, but he did tell you that.
Yeah, so it was like after I came back from the gym after like the whole like cheating thing and like I'm just standing on the sidewalk like before you get to your little condo and I just heard God like saying, if you don't let him go, you'll never see him again. And I was like, okay, God, like I guess I have to let him go. And I do want to see him again, like, but maybe in a different, like, state. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in a better,
different mind state,
different
life.
Yeah, like, and so he was like, I'm done. I was kind of done too. I was like mutually done with the relationship as much as he was. But like I just didn't have any place to go, so I was kind of scared. But like someone from Disney did let me stay with him for free.
So that was but that was at a different point so that was like a month within the last month of our relationship. But once I hit the psych ward, that was it. But she like, with the fear of like not, because we were living together. And at this point, the first time we lived together, she was doing better than me, but now I'm doing better than her. Mm-hmm. And so the roles were reversed. She paid like 60% of the deposit in the first house, but then this time, so she can't sustain it without, and she has this
didn't
fear.
have like the funds to keep going to Muay Thai if I wasn't with you, and I was like afraid to lose that because it was really helping me.
Well, we don't need to get into that, but we both lost that. And
yeah,
through our toxic traits. But so anyways, so in different ways, the end came, and we both I had to go fast from you, actually physically fast away from you, forcefully. And that gave me the ability, the strength I needed to be like, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. And until it actually hurt me, because it had hurt me emotionally, and it hurt you. Like, move in, move out, homeless, not homeless, living on a couch, not on a couch, me cheating on me, loving me, don't know what to think, dating, not dating. But until it physically put me in a state of like this, and it wasn't even the hurt, it was the fact that I'm no longer in control of my life. Now a doctor has control whether or not where I live. And like, I think that was like a wake up call. Like, you're getting so out of control, you're going to lose all control of who you are. And before I did, I realized like, okay, this isn't gonna happen. And then so we separate, and I get in the union. In the union, and I stay in Florida for a while. I meet my best friend Sean, and now we're apart. And work dries up in Florida, and I go to Oregon. And I'm in Oregon, and I do everything I ever said I would do. You know, gonna keep working, get out of debt, all that. But I don't really want to focus on that. I kind of want to, because that's just really did my job, went to work. You know, there was moments of depression and everything, but this is more like about us reconnecting. And it was really important that you brought up the God part, because I thought we were done. You were dead to me. If had you died, I would have never shed a tear. Like it's not even that I wouldn't have shed a tear. I wouldn't have known, because I was never looking for you. I had blocked you. I had deleted your number. I blocked you on all apps. Like, you were gone.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I had a revelation to just unblock everybody that I'd ever blocked. But in doing that, you changed your handle a couple times. So even if I wanted to find you, I couldn't have.
Yeah.
And I didn't like then go follow you. So I just unblocked, and those people vanished from my mind.
Yeah.
And so you were gone. You were dead to me, but you never lost hope.
No.
And that's really the only reason we're here now.
Yeah,
and
it was like
so
the
go
one
ahead and
thing.
tell us about the time that we were apart, and then we'll get back to. And it was actually almost 2 years to the date.
Oh, was it?
We got back
It
together.
felt way longer. It felt like 3
It did
years.
feel like a lifetime, but
Yeah, it did.
if we broke up in August, September, and we got back together October, November
It was November.
of 2020,
It was
2018.
November 3rd, to be exact.
Great memory. So 2018 to 2020, that's 2 years.
Yeah, you're right.
So you tell them about like the spiral that you went down,
Yeah, so
and how really that child sacrifice led you to straight into the grips of hell, like right into the hand of the devil.
well, I didn't sacrifice a child. I had a miscarriage.
I know, but our sin together doing these
Oh,
things, like
yeah.
we had this thing, and I'm not saying that's what it was, but us, like, that was the turning point of the lost child, the sacrifice of the child. That we literally went to a sin beach, a satanic altar of lust, and committed. And then what is for this is why this is not rated for kids, but ejaculating is a sacrifice to an altar, to demonic entities. So when we go there and we go to that temple of Satan, and we then consummate this sinful nature in the water, surrounded by
not married,
surrounded by debauchery.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we were doing. And then what happens? That child born in that, because we had a child out of wedlock with a perfect pregnancy, but with the right heart, the right head.
And we did get married while I was pregnant.
Yeah, and we had planned it, and it was with the correct heart posture. I'd already asked, even though we weren't physically married, I'd asked for your hand in marriage.
Yeah.
We were in the right.
Which we learned in biblical times, if you're engaged, it's basically as married gets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we had the right heart, but in that moment, it was behind your back, just wanting to.
Yeah, because you did it and I didn't know you were doing it.
And I wanted to indulge in my flesh.
Yeah.
You took me there so you could feel free and have eyes on you, because you loved the attention at the time.
Yeah.
And so this is the first time I'm putting this all together, but that's really what it was even though it wasn't us intentionally taking a child sacrifice, we sacrificed, and that's where our life fell apart.
Yeah.
And so then, and it just led you literally into the pits of hell. Like, you went.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Take it from there.
So right after I moved out of that condo with you, no, it was before. I had moved out twice out of the brick courthouse before I finally moved out. So it was like,
no, just once.
No, because I moved to Ed's house, then I moved back, and then I moved out
The final time.
Yes.
Yeah, so you moved out twice.
Yes. So it was the first time I moved out. That is when I was like, I'm going all in on astrology, because I was like, I need answers. Like, I need to know why this is not working. Like, I need to know why Dylan and I are not getting along. And like, why are we fighting so much? I'm like, oh, that's why. He's a Pisces, I'm a Gemini. He's a water sign, I'm an air sign. We just don't go well together at all. Like, I'm starting to feel like, oh, I'm figuring it out. Like, I'm like putting the pieces together, making like trying to make sense like of what in the heck is going on. Because I didn't have God. It's so weird. Like, I would hear from God and like I would pray to God, but I didn't know how to like indulge in the word. Like,
You had no relationship.
I had no relationship with him. Like, and obviously, okay, yeah, you read the word, that's how you indulge in the word, but I didn't understand the context of the Bible to even read it, you know what I mean? So, anyways, long story short, I'm like going into all of this. And then the second time I moved out, I go to a rave literally as soon as I move out. And I'm like living with one of the photographers that I had met around my journey. And it was just like weird. It was like a really weird like time in that house. Like, I mean, he had me edit his photos for him, like his little photo editor. Just like fine. That was like something I wanted to learn as a skill. But it was just weird. Um and so I moved out pretty quickly out of that place. Someone from Disney, like I moved in with her, but she was buying a house and then we were living in this hotel for a month until our house like closed so we can move in.
When did you get deeper into like? Was it after COVID that you really dove into?
It was
Because
like
I know
it
you
was
started
pretty
getting
much
into
like
witchcraft too.
it was kind of like sprinkled here and there. I was reading a lot of like astrology books and doing the crystals the whole time, but it was like
Because you didn't have any of that stuff. You were into astrology when we dated, but just like horoscopes. But so you start buying crystals.
zodiac signs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty much like 2019,
The end.
the end of 2019, like beginning of 2020. I just kind of took a deep dive in astrology. I don't know why. I can't explain why. But I was sugaring in 2019 and
People that might not know what that means.
it means like you're a sugar baby. It's like a legal prostitute, literally. Um, and I went to London and he funded part of the trip. Like part of it I had to pay for, but he gave me enough to like fund the rest of it. And when I got back, there was like a different one I was seeing, and he told me I was like getting fat. And so that really like shift gears for me when he told me that.
And if we're being honest, you were.
What are you gonna say?
I
Garlic
just said,
nuts?
yeah, you were because you were in a deep depression and eating vegan garlic knots every day.
Yeah, I was really depressed, okay. Anyway, so
I just had to bring up the garlic knots. It's a running joke in the relationship, garlic knots.
so I started going back to Muay Thai. I just like I'm like whatever. I have to do whatever it takes to afford Muay Thai and go back and get in shape because obviously like
that must have been really hard to hear when you're already depressed.
Yeah, it was. And I'm like, well, I don't get paid if they don't want me. So and then
so now you have even more.
And I'm still working at Disney too. So I'm doing that and
but you have like a physical value attached to your looks.
Yes.
Like a dollar amount.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
So this is like the first time because you've done modeling, you've done some nude stuff, but it was more for fun. But now you're like, oh, my lifestyle is attached to how I look.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm also working at Disney. And then it was like
I don't want this to get full. Okay, you got slack.
So then probably like in May of 2020 is when I start dancing in the strip clubs.
So Disney's closed, 2020, COVID, everything closes, but the strip clubs stay open.
Yeah.
Well, you are in Florida too.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It wasn't okay. So Florida was like so wishy washy with the mask. Like 1 week they're like everyone has to wear a mask. Okay, now you don't. Okay, now you do. Okay, now you don't. It was like back and forth, back and forth. And then finally Florida was like, you know what? Screw it. You don't have to wear a mask. That was like the final verdict for Florida. But obviously you would still see people walking around wearing them.
But you're in the club.
Yeah.
So now you're in the club.
So now I'm no longer working at Disney. I got
when did you get started?
I got laid off. That's the word I was looking for. And then I'm still doing some sugaring, but I'm mostly in the club now. And I think that's where I kind of got deeper into zodiacs and astrology because it sounds weird, but it's not really that weird. Now, if you go to a strip club, it makes more sense. But like, astrology is pretty popular among strippers. It's because they're like, oh, like I'm an Aries, so I wear a lot of red.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I'm fiery and blah blah blah. Like, it becomes an identity within your stripper.
Well,
identity.
That's the thing too. When you become a stripper, you take on a persona.
Yes.
So you literally become an altered ego.
Yes.
So you have a split personality.
Yes.
Yeah, stripper. So you actually have two people.
Yeah.
And you have to become this other person.
You become someone else's fantasy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But then that bleeds into your real life, right?
And then, yeah, I mean, it can, but a lot of us try to keep it separate. Like, when you're home, you're Alexa, and then when you go to the club, you're Gia.
But if you're hanging around as strippers, I mean, do you guys call each other? I've been around your stripper friends, which when you left the going away party, they all called you by your dancer name.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to. You might think that if you had a boyfriend, but you didn't.
They know your real name, but we all go by our club name in public because if someone we know in the club sees us out, they don't know our real names.
So, in a percentage, how often are you using your real name when you talk to your mom and dad?
Yeah,
that's it.
So you become that person. Yeah,
that's what I was trying to. That's what I'm trying to emphasize.
Yeah, and then like astrology is much deeper than just zodiac signs. And what if you're water, air, fire, or whatever?
All demonic stuff.
It's pretty demonic. Yeah, super demonic because it alters the will of God for your life.
It's all pagan.
Because when you're in astrology, you're like, this is my life. This is the plan for my life.
Well, and I want to get in...
The plan for your life is in here. And
I want to get into that. Why you know this. I'm going to have you answer it.
What?
Tell them why it's so accurate because it really is demonic.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it so accurate? Where does that come from?
It's accurate because demons been alive for centuries, forever, like
for millennia, for thousands of years.
Yeah, demons have never died. The demons that are alive now have been alive like way, like maybe even like it's been
since the beginning of the earth.
Since the beginning of time.
Yes,
like forever. So, of course, demons know a lot because they've been alive forever. And so they study like people born under a certain time of the year, under a certain star.
And human beings are very, very, even though we're thousands of years apart, we have the same character traits. So we repeat cycles. History repeats. That's the saying. So all the people born in, they could tell you, well, between this date and this date, these people act like this.
Yep.
And then, so that really, all that knowledge does come from fallen angels, from demons.
It's very accurate because it's true to a certain extent, but what's not true is that when you get deeper into astrology, there's natal charts. And then there's houses in the natal chart. And then you have different planets like Saturn, Mars, Pluto, Venus, whatever. Like there's certain zodiacs that fall in each planet within your natal chart. And then those natal charts read demonic readings because it's like, okay, so if you're a Gemini, this is the job you'll be really good at.
And they know that you have callings. Like they know because there's what we call familial spirits. So they'll know that people have certain callings on their life, certain gifts. So if It's not that, oh, it's demonic because it's just not going with the will of God. It's actually created and influenced by demons, by fallen angels,
Yep.
and they use the familiar spirits that have been watching you since your parents were born, since you were brought into this world. They've been watching you.
Yeah.
And they then know these are her gifts from a child. So we're going to do everything to just separate you from that by 1 degree. So then you adopt the zodiac purpose for your life.
Just that though, but like, okay,
Am I wrong though? A little, like, that's kind of accurate, right?
kind of. But it's more like, okay, so these things will only become true if you come into agreement.
That's what I was trying to say. So if you see these and you're like, that is right, that is true, and then they
it's always true, but it becomes extra true. Like if you are like, yeah, I am a Gemini, I do act like that. So each zodiac sign is a demon, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you become in agreement with your zodiac sign as Gemini, you're yoking yourself to that demon.
Yes.
Like, and that be demon.
Yes.
It's not, I don't want to say it's not you anymore because it is you, but
the more that you agree with it, the more
you act like what this zodiac sign is characteristics are. Like what the characteristics of this zodiac sign are. But like another thing, like why I fell so into it and I got trapped by it is because like I never thought I was smart.
Yeah, this is a good point.
Because of not my upbringing, like my parents, like how they raised me, but because of the
what we spoke about,
the seizures, what I talked about earlier. And one of the character traits of Gemini is intelligence. So I was like, oh wow, like I'm a Gemini and I must be smart because it says I am. And like knowing astrology and knowing how to read a natal chart and knowing the transits of the planets and when this is gonna happen made me feel smart.
So falling each time in each new thing you learn, you're falling into another lock on the chain, another layer. And that's the thing. Satan doesn't have a chain that he puts on you. You build the chain link by link to the kingdom of darkness. So I'm a Gemini, first link. Not that binding. You just have a handcuff, but it's not linked to the wall. You're not chained. You're just wearing a bracelet.
Right.
And then you add natal chart, 3 links. The stars, 5 links. And next thing you know, you're chained to the floor.
Yeah.
And so, right? So each level of this.
The deeper you get into it, the more bondage, And then it doesn't just end there.
And then it becomes your identity.
But then it doesn't even end there.
Okay.
Like, it's like now you're doing crystals. Now you're going to a medium. Now you're trying
because then you have like retrograde and all these other things.
And that's like different than the other stuff I'm talking about. But retrograde is part of astrology. But
so how does the crystals? How do you can bring the two together, or are they separate?
They're separate, but it's all witchcraft and New Age.
So that's about the astrology, but now you're in crystals as well. So what's the story about who got you into that?
Ashley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like into it before I was, and then she was.
Well, you had that warlock friend.
He did readings.
Yeah, but didn't he like put curses on people too?
I mean, yeah, he was a warlock. But I asked him, okay, so this is something I definitely repented hard for, and I got deliverance for this. Not just for this, but for all of it.
Yeah.
But I did repent, and I am truly sorry for whoever I cursed. Like, I don't even know the person's name. I don't remember why. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. I have no idea. I have no memory of who it was, but I remember I did it. That's all I remember. And it was like on my way to the dungeon, which is another thing I did. I was a dominatrix. I went to Eddie's house, who was my warlock friend, and
because you could only get so far, right?
Hold on. So I went to his house. I think he had to check something on my Mustang or something, because he was also a Mustang mechanic, specialized with Mustangs. And then
taillights. He's putting new taillights on.
No, that was before.
Oh.
Yeah, different. So And it was either before or after I left the dungeon. I know, like, I was going to the dungeon that day. That's what I remember. And then I told him,
We were already together too, by the way, because I remember
yeah,
you telling me this, and it
yeah,
was disturbing to me.
yeah, we had reconnected already. Um, and I told him to curse someone for me because I needed him to do it because I didn't know how to curse people. Um, and and he goes, consider it done. I was like, okay, cool. And then as soon as I drove away, I was like, oh my gosh, like, how bad is he gonna curse them? Like, what did I just say? Like, it was kind of like immediate regret, but it's like too late. Because once you tell them to curse someone, they do it.
Yeah,
Like I can't turn around and be like, never mind, like he's gonna do it. Like,
yeah.
and so, yeah, I'm not super proud of that at all. Like, just extreme hate that I had at the time and anger and God knows what. But like it was so weird because I really truly felt like I was helping people when I was a dom, like in that dungeon. Like I truly like I was so convinced. Satan had me so convinced that I was healing people and helping people from their traumas because like it's a lot of people who go to dungeons to get consensual bondage or um sexual abuse survivors.
Oh wow.
And not only that, but also the doms are sexual abuse survivors too. So it,
And not to dive into this deeply for time sensitive is
yeah.
but you were one of these sexual abuse survivors.
Yes, I was on multiple accounts.
Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to address
Yeah.
that.
So like hearing their traumas and I would like, resonate with them,
Yeah.
like feel their pain. Like I felt like that sadness, that grief with them.
And
And
this stuff, that essay happened after we were apart, right?
some of it was before, most of it was before.
Okay.
Yeah, before we met.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I should have known that. Sorry.
no, it's okay. So, and then, I do the domination over these people, like whips, toys, whatever it is, like whatever they ask me to do. And then they would get on their knees and like thank me. They would hug me. They would be crying. They'd be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, you're healing me. And I would feel reward from that. Like, oh, wow, like this is my calling.
Worshipping.
I was like, wow, I found my calling. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to help God's people, like, heal from sexual trauma. Like, and I was like, yeah, it's a little weird. I'm doing a dark place, but like, hey,
Disguised as an angel
God
of
works
light.
in mysterious ways, is what I told myself. And
Well, let's tell the people where this place was. Because a lot of dungeons are just like private places.
yeah.
This was in a particular, another
Well, it was a private business within a string club.
Swinger club.
Yeah, it had a separate contract from the swinger club.
I know,
so
but
they're
I was
not
saying,
like,
I'm saying that some dom, like, they'll just rent out a building, like a room, like an office space. This wasn't in an office space
no.
downtown. This wasn't a studio. This was a room
Yeah.
in a gigantic
ginormous swinger club.
like out of a movie.
Yeah.
I've been there, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like in a Miami movie from the '80s." You're like, "What am I? What are we? Whoa!"
Yeah, a lot of people are just butt naked or only have towels
Multiple pools,
on. Yeah,
lounge
multiple
areas,
pools, multiple bars.
like 5-story hotel
Yeah.
room for exactly
Yeah,
what.
because it's a swinger club resort.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like, so anyways.
And they had, so in Orlando, the biggest sex store is called Farrah Villa.
Yeah.
And they had a mini Farrah Villa inside the swinger club. It's right when you walk in the door, it's to your right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this place was in like the craziest place, and a lot of those people could it's not like it was separate. They could just come on into the dungeon.
Yeah, but it's separate.
I know, but they could. It's not like
Like charging wise.
I understand.
Oh, okay.
But my point is, it's not like so it was easy access. Like, oh, they have a dungeon.
Yeah.
Let's check that
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's a attraction
Yeah.
to the resort. It was like a reason for people.
Which, okay,
So,
this is not.
hang on,
Okay.
because which I found out in Oregon when you tried to pursue this in Oregon, most cities and most countries or most every city in this country, no one has these type of resorts. Swinger resorts is like a Florida thing.
It's a Florida thing, yeah.
So when you go to find dungeons and other places, it's like super secret.
Yeah,
and
it's underground.
Literally underground dungeon.
Yeah.
And so these are like single door that goes downstairs into a basement. Like it's not a
That's
place.
That's how it's in New York
So
too.
the people that want to do it in regular like in other cities, other locations,
It's more open about this
you would
kind
have
of
to
stuff.
get onto like not dark web, but like onto a like that type of website. You'd have to hunt it down.
Yeah.
You'd have to really go and look. I want to go be dominated. But at this place, it was open. It was like not advertised, but advertised to the thousands of people that went to this resort. So it was like easier. People that may never go to a dungeon had easy access to this dungeon. That's my point.
Yeah. But swingers are pretty adventurous when it comes to their sex life, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
they're swingers.
Yeah. I just thought that was important.
But a lot of swingers don't have any comprehension of BDSM life, which is completely different from
it's
swinger
different.
life. But I just want to mention, like, so next to the dungeon was the threesome room, where it was just like sex beds.
Yeah.
And then people would just have like fornication. Like,
I remember
with
walking by
anyone.
them. Yeah, I remember walking by them.
Yeah. And yeah. So the girl who worked there, like in the towel, because you have to get a towel before you go in there. And she came to Christ too.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome.
She was a lesbian. Also came from previous SA experiences. And yeah, she recently found Christ, and then we
Praise
talk
God, that's amazing.
Yeah, we talk about like the people we knew.
So you talked to her?
Yeah, I talked to her right now. We talk about a lot of people that we knew that would go to the swinger clubs. Like, it's sad because like a lot of them were porn stars, like legit porn stars, like out of Florida, OnlyFans stars, and like people would rent out like the swinger club for like their OnlyFans accounts or the dungeon for like a couple hours and do stuff in there. And it's like, it's just like, I'm just so like glad like God saved me from all of that, because like at the end of the day, it's a dark world, like so dark. And like a lot of drugs involved too in that environment.
Tell them about like how dark it really got that time, that experience where you had to actually be pulled out of the.
Yeah, so I had a regular.
Don't tell me, tell the camera.
I had a regular. He came quite a bit, and then he wanted me to use the sex bed and like tie him up with the rope with the hook. So there's like rings on the bed for rope. And I think I'm using the laser, if I remember correctly, which is like a zapper, like it zaps.
Okay.
And like I'm just like zapping him up and down, and then probably some other stuff too. Probably a whip. I don't know. Like, bottom line is like my dungeon master, he they have to monitor you. Like, that's why they're there, right? Not just you, but like also make sure you're safe and
yeah. Supervision.
Yeah. So he comes over and he's like, "Hey, you need to sit down and take a break." And I was like, "Okay, why?" And he was like, then your entire eyeball, like including like the white part of your eyeball here, completely black.
No drugs involved.
No, I was not on drugs. I always did everything sober. Um, and I was like, what? Like, it caught me off guard. I'm like, my entire eye is black. That's insane. And so I sat down. He gives me some water. And I'm just like at the door of the dungeon, just monitoring who's coming through. Um, and I'm just like calming down. And he's like, oh, so what happened was it's like you were in Dom space. You just got too much power from your energy exchange with your client. So you just need to sit down and you can go back to it when you're feeling better. So, okay, cool. Um, but like that moment was kind of like a pivotal point for me. I was like, oh, this is like, I don't know, it kind of made me feel uncomfortable in a way. Like I was like, wow, my entire eyeball is black.
That's supernatural.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and now with your knowledge about the, you know, spirit realm and everything, like,
Yeah.
what do you like?
It's super.
Give it a Christian lens to this experience.
Well, I mean, I was definitely being like oppressed demonically, but it's crazy because that in a way that wasn't even enough. Like I would have kept going.
I know, but that's what I was trying to say is like that was feeding the demons.
Yeah. Yeah, for
That's what
sure.
that was. That was worship. You became the idol to
Yeah.
this man, and he was worshiping you, and you were dominating. But these are just words us fleshly humans use.
Yeah.
But there's so much more going on. Like this was like he said, a power exchange. So
I got
you were
too much power. I was like, I'm human.
so all of his demons feeding this greater demon that lives in that dungeon that oppressed you, that
Yeah.
took over, and in that moment possessed you.
Yeah.
Because that you can't possessed and oppressed. Many people are oppressed.
I don't believe I was possessed. I
But
believe
even
I was definitely oppressed because I still like believe in God.
I know, but in that moment,
Yeah.
had that continued, because like you said, you wanted more. So that demon in you, like you could have, and because you don't. That's when your eyes go like that. That's not you anymore.
Yeah.
That would have turned into more.
Yeah.
Like
Well, and it
oppression
was
doesn't manifest
I was like
with physical.
we were having classes in the dungeon like about BDSM like leading up to me leaving and learning more about BDSM and like just the art of it and the science of it and the psychology of it. And I wanted like I talked to
Because you were like an apprentice, right?
Yeah, I was an apprentice and I wanted to open up my own practice and have my own dungeon, and they were supporting me in it. They were like,
Of course.
we'll help you. We know people who make BDSM furniture, like, you can buy from them. We make floggers, you can have our floggers. Like, just trying to set me up to like have my own business as my own standalone dungeon as a dom. And that was my dream. Like I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. Like this is it. Like I want to be a professional dominatrix like for the rest of my life. And I loved it. I really did. I mean, looking back, I'm like, wow, like I can't believe like I was living that life. It makes me tear up sometimes, but it's like in the time that I was living that life, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. And I, like, when I came back into your life, I had no idea. I was just naive to the whole spirit realm at all.
It's dark though. Like
I had my own experiences with
Yeah.
like drugs, but that side. So I'm going to these things with you and stuff, and I'm just like, but like you said, you could tell a
I
spirit
knew
filled
when you were
person.
uncomfortable, and I was like, "What's the big deal? Like,
Yeah,
we have sex all the time. Like, why are you being so weird? You're not like goody two shoes. Like,
I know I'm not, but
you do drugs, you do this. Like, why is this like the thing that like stops you from like enjoying yourself?" But like, I didn't care because I was like, whatever. He's just being weird. I'm trying to do a rope class. I'm trying
I was
to.
there to support you.
I know. I'm like, but I was ignoring like your energy.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not gonna pay attention to that. And then it's like, like, it's just like, it's so weird because it's like, I enjoyed it, but it's also such a dark world to be in. So it's kind of weird that I enjoyed it.
Because they're feeding off of you. Like, you're feeding, you got, like, the spirits are feeding you
Yeah.
to keep you engaged. But then the second you leave, it's like unplugging the light.
Yeah.
That light's only going to stay on for so long until without that cord plugged in.
That's where everything like hit though.
And
Like
think about it, when
I
you
would
went to
go to the
Jamaica.
dungeon, like, you know, feeling like a hit, like a drug.
Yeah.
Like, and then I get in my car to go home and I'm like lonely. No one's texting me.
Well,
No one's calling me. Like,
your entire circadian rhythm's messed up. Like, as the sun's coming up, you're going home.
yeah.
Like, you're literally a vampire. Like, you live in the night.
Yeah.
Night crawler.
Mm-hmm.
And then think about it. Like I said, like that charger analogy. Like, you took a trip to Jamaica. That's where because before you were like so deep into this, and we're dating, and that time comes where I'm like, we're gonna have to do something. This has been a while. And it'd been like 6 months of talking, but 4 months of dating, and I'm not coming back. Like, I'm not ever going back to live there.
Yeah, and I really didn't want to let go of my life there.
But
like,
you had been,
I thought I had a good thing going. I was being worshipped. Like, I had people come to the dungeon just for me and give me gifts.
Paid and worshipped.
Paid and worship. They would get on my knees as they present a present to me. Like, they'll be like, here you go.
And then the days you didn't do that, you were going and getting sexualized at the strip clubs.
Yeah.
And just,
I'm always
praised and
constantly
worshipped.
being glorified.
Yeah, that's a great word. Yes, objectified, glorified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
glorifying your flesh.
Addicted to the adoptions.
But man,
like,
talk about 2 hours. Before we'll wrap this up soon, but and then next episode we'll go into, because that's like a whole nother chapter, a whole nother like book of talking about our second relationship and the life we have now.
Yeah.
And that'll be its own standalone thing. But before we wrap this up, I want to talk one more thing, was like, talk about the depression that you hit when you'd have bad nights, because there's a lot of dancers out there, strippers, and people, because you mentioned it with the dom and leaving, and how you no text, this and that, depression. But more relatable is all the strippers out there that have that when they have a bad night, how objectified, feel like you're high, you're on cloud 9.
Yeah.
You're the most important thing in the world. You made all this bag, but that one night that you didn't, you feel like the scum of the earth. Talk about that a little bit before we wrap this up. I think that's really important for this chapter.
I think scum of the earth is the wrong word.
Sorry,
like,
I just don't know how to. I didn't mean to like degrade anybody. I don't know how to.
That's not how I feel.
I just know how you would like talk to me. Like, you just felt like so. Like, I apologize for the. I don't mean that. I just mean like, and I just trying to clarify, because how it would make me feel when you would talk to me about the level, like, it just made me feel like so sad. Like, it was so sad, because I know how, because we dated during this time, and I know how you, like, how I saw you.
Yeah.
And you just felt like when you would talk like that, I still saw that same person, and I'd try and like bring you back up, but you would just be so low, like below, like
the only thing that could fix that low was money.
Yeah, and the high of being objectified again.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter how many words I spoke into you, or what I did, or how much I glorified you. Like, that's so.
It didn't mean anything.
Apologize for my wording, but I just wanted to clarify that. But please talk.
So, yeah, there was like one night I remember, like, very particular night, and it was like this sugar daddy I'd had for a while, and we were talking, so I was like, well, I don't want to be alone with him anymore. Like, where we normally go, we would go to a wine bar, and then he had like this like stupid like Mercedes-Benz van thing.
Sprinter van.
Yeah, that he would like to do karaoke after, like a total dork. And so,
That is kind of weird.
yeah, so stupid. And so I invited him to the club in Cocoa Beach, and the deal was he was supposed to give me $500 to like meet me there, like to come see me at work. And that was the dollar arrangement that we had agreed to. And so he gets there, and then I'm like, okay, cool. We're just talking, like acting like he's not a sugar daddy that came to visit me, like that he's a regular, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes to the point where he's like, okay, let's go to my house. He has a house in Cocoa Beach. Go figure. And
No
then,
wonder he's so eager to say yeah.
yeah. And then,
Cocoa
so,
Beach was like an hour and a half from where you lived.
yeah. And he lived in, Lake Mary.
Okay.
That was like his main house, which is like North Orlando, like up there a bit. So when he realized that I wasn't like
Doing that.
I wasn't going to his house, he basically just stormed out the door, and I went to the dressing room and I threw the biggest fit. Like I was so mad. I just like made a scene. I was like crying. I was like dropping so many swear words. Like
I think you called me crying that night.
I was crying. Like my house mom, which is like the person who like takes care of you or like does your makeup and hair, make sure you're good to go on stage, and then if you have a problem, she's there to kind of de-escalate everything. Um and she also collects the house fees. But anyway, so that's what a house mom is. And then I'm like telling her what happened and other dancers having a night. I just threw my money clutch like across the dressing room, like, ugh. And I'm just like crying. I'm dropping bombs. Like, I'm just like off.
Meltdown.
I'm having a huge, like,
Total meltdown.
toddler meltdown.
Like our child.
Yeah. And she's like, oh my gosh, tell me what happened. Like, who is he? Where is he? And I was like, he was supposed to give me $500 and he just stormed off because I wouldn't go back to his house, which that actually protects me because, like, we're not supposed to
Yeah,
go.
that's prostitution.
Yeah, we're not supposed to go to their house, like, if they come in the club. So that's why I set it up that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if he came, like, I can't
Yeah.
do that. So I was being smart,
That is smart.
but
yeah.
he stiffed me. And so I felt so, like, just so depressed. I felt like unbeautiful, unsexy. Like, my worth,
All your worth is that.
all my worth went out the window because I didn't get that $500. And he left. Like, it was like abandonment.
And it was
in a
it
way.
that, or do you think it was more about what he wanted?
I mean, obviously, that's what they always want.
I
But, like,
know.
but it was like he didn't follow through his word. Like, we had an agreement and he thought he could be sneaking, like, kind of manipulate me in that way. But, like, I was at the club, so I couldn't do that. And that was the point.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to, like, budge. He wanted that control. And he was trying to manipulate me, but I was being smart and didn't do that anyway. So they, like, the house mom goes around trying to find him. He's already gone. And, like, she's trying to give me a pep talk. And I'm just remember going home that night, like, just like so down. But I'm trying to be strong and I'm trying to make myself feel like good about myself. And, like, I go home and I take a picture of myself sitting down in front of my fiddle plant. And I had like the best makeup on that night too. Like, I just loved the way my makeup looked. And I'm like, what a waste. Like, I didn't even get money with it. And because I didn't go back out after that. Like, after that, I was done. I was done for the night.
And then even if you had, they're gonna know.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right personality, like if you don't have the right attitude.
Yeah. So I didn't make any money that night. They didn't make me pay a house fee that night because of what happened.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
At least you had that.
Yeah, and then
Because that's the thing. Make no money, still have to pay.
yeah, but I was just like so destroyed that night. And my friend who also worked at the club, she made it up, like, because I told her what happened and she felt bad. So she called one of her regulars, and then the next night we went to her house, and then he paid us $1,000 each just to sit in the hot tub with him
Oh, that's
for an hour.
well, that's generous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Just
mean,
to make up for what happened.
yeah.
Like, that's like, it was like money made me feel valued. Like, if you
Well,
walked
and
out on me, like, and it's happened multiple times. I've been like, there's been times where I'm in private rooms with guys, and then they're supposed to pay in bigger bills in private rooms, so you have time to count it before they leave. They're not supposed to like tip you in ones in the private room,
Yeah,
only
yeah,
on
yeah.
stage. And then one time, like, this guy, like, just like,
I remember this story.
yeah, threw ones in the air and left. And by the time I can count everything to see if he stiffed me, he was gone.
Well shorted too.
Yeah,
It was like by a lot, right?
it was by a lot. I was treated badly. And in these certain situations that left me feeling worthless, like not loved, because love was kind of tied into like the dollar amount too and the attention I got. And, then going home on a bad night, like it was like low depression, like sort of like feeling so alone, like isolated, like when you go home like that late in the morning too, like 2, 3 in the morning, maybe more like 1, 2 in the morning, but by the time I would get home it'd be like 3 because it was like an hour and 30 minutes away. And I would just be like, I wanted like someone to talk to about how bad of a night I am or how bad of a night I had. And there's no one to talk to. So you feel alone and isolated and you feel worthless and you don't have Jesus. So you just feel like lifeless in a way. Like you feel so empty. And then it's like on the nights that I would do really good, I'm cranking up the stereo and I'm like driving home from Cocoa Beach to Orlando with the windows down, like on a high. Like,
Wow.
it's like night and day.
This was great. I loved having you on and sharing your story, and hopefully it really has an impact for people out there. They can
Mhm.
relate to it, and people need to hear these stories. So thanks for coming on and telling your story and your
Thanks
testimony.
for having me.
And I just pray that we'll say a closing prayer before we go, and then that'll be it. We'll see. Hopefully, I'll see you guys all next week. But Satan has been attacking this podcast. The reason it's been 3 weeks since I've uploaded, I had technical issues. I tried to record 3 times, and each and every time I recorded and it would glitch out. It would have no audio. It just one time didn't work at all. And then he literally took my voice from me. My last episode, I was losing it. And then the next week, it was completely gone for 3 days. So we just
And
pray.
then we scheduled this for tomorrow, but then my mom said she couldn't watch full
Yeah, and we almost.
we had to do it today.
And then my other guest that's supposed to come on this week canceled. So
Oh, the girl canceled.
rescheduled.
Oh.
So I will be back on as soon as possible with or without a guest. But thank you all for watching if you made it this far, and we'll just end it with a closing prayer. Dear Lord, watch over everyone that was blessed by these words tonight. And I pray that anyone that's hearing this as goes into the world convicted and sees you move everywhere in their life, Lord, and that you use the Holy Spirit to speak through us to impact people and bring them into your fold. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.